gave me a plaid shirt knowing how much I loved it. And I love this shirt. I love the colors in it, et cetera, et cetera. And then 2 months, 3 months later, August 17, 2018, I was driving my car. She was with me. I was pulling out into traffic. I started driving. And suddenly she's saying, pull over, Robert, pull over. I go, why? Why? I can drive. I'm fine. And then suddenly everything started getting really strange. Everything looked strange. My voice didn't sound the same. And she was like freaking out, but she was actually fairly calm, which was amazing. I was undergoing a stroke. I had a blood clot that was blocking the blood flow to my brain. I actually at one point got out of the car, like I don't know what the hell I was thinking. And then she pulled me back in, and then the rest goes blank. And I had some weird sensations that still remain with me because essentially I was on the verge of dying because blood not flowing to your brain is basically the end of you, right? Unless something happens very quickly. And either that or you can get severe brain damage. So she called 911 right away. She recognized something. My whole face was looking funny. And they got there. I was unconscious. And essentially they took this shirt and they just scissored the thing in half and took it off my head. And then they intubated me, I believe, in my hip area to get something. The blood clot was in my neck, and they were able to free it up, and they rushed me to the hospital. And I'm unconscious, and then I wake up, and I'm in a gurney in the hospital. And for a moment, I'm thinking maybe I'm dead because I'm lying in a gurney, and I almost feel like I'm in a coffin. I don't know what's going on. And I have all of these weird sensations. And I tell people, we're so curious about death. We think about death a lot. And, is it final? What does it mean? We really should pay attention to dying. Dying is actually much more interesting in some ways than death. And people who have died go through a process if it's long enough. And people who have had near-death experiences like I do have gone through that process of dying and have come back to life. And in the process of dying, strange things happen to the brain, right? So particularly with a stroke or something like that, where oxygen stops flowing to your brain, you have kind of visions and things that you might think are hallucinations, but that later seem like you are actually glimpsing the reality as opposed to the illusion that the brain creates. So I've written about this in my new book, but my idea of the brain is that it creates endless series of illusions for you. It creates this seamless version of reality, the sense of a self, the sense of a continuous self through time, right? It creates a linear sense of time, progressions. It creates colors. It creates a world that visually seems familiar, and et cetera, but it's all illusion. It's all a construction, right? Images come into your brain and they're not organized in any way, and the brain organizes in a way that you can understand it. Well, when you're dying, all of that scrambles up and you actually are seeing something else. So I saw, for instance, that I really don't have a self, that it doesn't really actually exist, and the image that came to my mind, because it was sitting in that gurney, was a weird feeling of like, I can almost not explain it, but it's as if you took an image of something real in the world and you completely scrambled it up and it was all wavy and you couldn't see what exactly it was.